Code monkey get up, get coffee. Code monkey go to job. Code monkey have boring meeting with boring manager Rob. Rob say code monkey very diligent, but his output stink. His code not functional or elegant. What do code monkey think? Code monkey think maybe manager wanna write login page himself. Code monkey not say it out loud. Code monkey not crazy, just proud. Code monkey like Fritos. Code monkey like Tab and Mountain Dew. Code monkey very simple man. Big warm fuzzy secret heart. Code monkey like you. Code monkey like you.
What's new, Dino Dudes? It's me, the Media Raptor, and welcome back to another episode of the Media Raptor Reviews. So if we talked about one of the two Nickelodeon cartoons that got rebooted last time with Invader Zim, Enter The Florpus, let's say we talk about the other one. Rocko's Modern Life Static Cling. Came out in 2019, much shorter than Invader Zim. Coming in at, I felt good, only coming in at about 45 minutes, so it was the length of about 2 episodes without advertisements in it. Let me get this out of the way. I have never seen an episode of Rocko's Modern Life. I just haven't. It was never on TV when I was growing up, and it's I don't know if it's on Netflix. I didn't bother checking. I just watched it because it came on automatically after Enter the Florpus, and I decided, why not? Let's give it a shot. Yeah, so I didn't really enjoy this one as much as I did Enter the Florpus. It's still pretty good, but I do have a bit more of issues with it. So, and really it kind of comes down a lot to the writing. Now again, I have never seen Rocko's Modern Life, so maybe these are issues that the show does better, or if you watch the show you get used to it, I don't know. Some of the jokes in here I just didn't really find funny. Plus, unlike with Enter the Florpus, where it's kind of like, look, thankfully this movie did go, here's what's been happening for the past 20 years, we're here now, let's go. It did kind of at least give you a little bit of backstory. I have no idea if the show actually ended with them ending up in outer space or not, but it very much is more of a, you need to know these characters before you go in. Yes, we do kind of establish who they are and what their personalities are, but for the most part, we're assuming you know these characters. Now, I get that sometimes shows and movies will do that, especially movies based off popular TV shows. It's not an unfair thing to do. It just might not always reflect most positively on you when someone's reviewing it who doesn't know the show. Excuse me. Now, you might say that's unfair, and I know it kind of is, but I still need to address it. However, there is some really good social commentary in here, both with jokes about modern technology, how politics have advanced, and one part of the movie that really seems to have divided the internet in two. Before I get to that, let me just get some stuff out of the way. This movie, I'm not sure if I would recommend showing it to little kids, because there are a number of innuendos and jokes I'm kind of like, wow, that's a lot darker, really, a lot more mature than I think a kid show would allow. Now, I know that Rocko's Modern Life, he worked on a sex line or something. I know that. I've seen that clip at least, but there's one part of this movie where it turns out one of the characters is now transgender. She is now, well, he is now a she, and it's, I think it's Rebecca is her name now. It's gonna bug me. One sec. It's Rachel, not Rebecca, my bad. So, again, that might be another reason why you might not want to show this to little kids, especially if you're someone who's like, oh, I don't want my kids learning about LGBTQ stuff until they're older. I'm gonna have to address the elephant in the room and say what I think about it. To each their own. I will not think less of anybody depending on what gender they like or how they not think of anyone less if they happen to be gay, straight, bi, trans. To me, everyone is a person, everyone has value, and I don't see why people get so upset about this. I can kind of understand some of the controversy about the whole forced gender equality sort of thing in this, or the whole forced trans message, but a couple things on that. First of all, it works because, well, for one thing, frogs have been known to change their genders automatically, so I actually think that's kind of a clever way of doing that. Furthermore, while it does kind of start out with all the beats of, oh, great, we're going down this plot of, the dad doesn't want to accept it, people are like, wait, what's going on, there's the big fight. It has a really, really, really good ending message. It has a really important message that times will change, whether you want them to or not. Now, that doesn't mean you have to change everything about you. You don't always have to throw in with everything that's happening right now. Not everything is going to be perfect. Not everything you're not going to agree with everything. But if you're not willing to at least listen and maybe think about some things, then you might miss out on a lot. And I've got to give them credit. They pulled it off spectacularly. It would have been really easy to just go, yeah, well, guess what? This is how things are now. Deal with it. But they actually do a very touching and very heartwarming send-off with the important message that change will happen. And how we react to it changes quite a bit, actually. So, the writing is really one of the two only real problems I have with it. The other one is the animation. It's not poorly animated or anything. I'm not sure what it was, but this style just didn't work for me that well. I don't know what it was. I certainly didn't hate it, but I'm not sure if it was trying to be stylistic or what. I don't know. Just the characters had kind of a weird design to them. I just don't know how to put it into words. Just something about it didn't click with me. Plus, a number of the more gross-out jokes and stuff just didn't work. I could tell they were trying, and props to them for trying, but, not every joke is going to land. But that's all the negative, or even just the slight issues I have to say about this movie. Everything else, the music, the voice acting, the pacing, everything else is fantastic. Much like Enter the Florpus, this has some really good sight gags, genuinely hilarious, spoken gags, slapstick gags, and like I said, a really good message for everyone. Now, that doesn't change the fact that some people just... I don't know how to word this without coming across as mean. It's a good message that I think everyone should hear, and even though not everyone will take that message to heart, this is probably one of the better ways I've seen it told, without trying to force said message on you. So I can recommend Static Cling, albeit somewhat hesitantly. Again, I need to give a bit of a warning. There are a bit more adult jokes, and of course themes. One of the whole plot points is over a character now being trans, that some kids either may not understand or parents may not want to expose their kids to just yet. But from what I can tell, if you're a fan of Rocko's Modern Life, you're gonna love this. And just saying, if anything I've said by accident came across as offensive or degrading or any of that, I did not mean it. Just let me know down below in the comments. I'm so sorry if I said something wrong or offended somebody. Everyone has value. That's just how I live my life. No matter who they are, no matter who they love, everyone has value. So, yeah, I can recommend Rocko's Modern Life, but really, I can only give it 2.5 Raptor Claws out of 4. And that might seem weird, because great voice acting, good jokes, great message, but the animation and the fact that a lot of the jokes just kind of fell flat, and a lot of the writing kind of seemed like, hey, remember this episode? Kind of like with the member berries in Fractured But Whole. If you haven't seen all the episodes of, in that case, South Park, or in this case, Rocko's Modern Life, there were a number of things that you're just not going to pick up on the same. However, There was one joke I do want to address because I laughed so hard, and I also felt personally attacked by it. One of the characters, the turtle, I forget his name, he decides to become a vlogger, essentially, a YouTuber, essentially. And at the end, he says, "I want to thank my nine followers. If I could ever meet you in real life, I'd love to." And it turns out just his family and Heifer have been following him. And I honestly felt like that was kind of a bit of a personal attack on my channel, even though they don't know me. But it made me laugh harder than it should have, because I think that is a struggle people who want to make good quality content that isn't just shock value or just trying to manipulate children can relate to. So, yeah, that's all the time I got for this review. Until next time, Dino Dudes, this has been the Media Raptor saying keep cool, and I'll see all you Dino Dudes around. Later.